He's 79.
Was he that?
Yeah, they had him. I think he might have had COVID, but then Rusty has COVID, so they couldn't even call him. Tommy couldn't fly back from Idaho because he had COVID. So they were filling for Joe.
Everybody had. His guys has COVID.
Yeah. I think they could take one right by him. Because it came out. We used to go up there and have lunch. So they didn't have this. So then came into my place. And
Right.
they went to the hospital. They got it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, it's Mike.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You let me say,
Been years, how are you?
nobody ages anymore. Oh, you still doing music?
Yeah. Moved back to Brimfield.
That's good, I heard you moved.
Yeah. Sold, went to Cleveland, but then I missed the country, you know.
I put a studio in my basement.
Did you?
So we can all still record.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer.
It's nice with all the music and how you.
Yeah, we got Pro Tools. So I don't know if you know John Jenkins. Yeah, he comes over, he engineers and helps us all out.
Nice.
And it's sort of fun. I mean, it's crazy what you can do with music today. It's not like analog.
This,
PWC stuff.
All right.
I'm the studio over in Moondog.
Yeah.
But sure is nice to be able to go down in the basement and not have to go anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus your band members could be anywhere in the world.
They are. We did one song and it was all virtual. We did a song for my daughter and it was all virtual.
Yeah.
It all worked out. Are you still doing sound then?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's where you stuff for that all too.
Good for him. Yeah, we're still playing.
Hey, what's
Couple more years ago, the wife and I was
Did you get a copy of that?
But we all got our sound engineer says we're down, so we all have to wear and then you miss the live feed of the stage, right? So I have a 1 year, 1 day. Then you went to, they all on an iPad. It just does everything on the iPad. No more boards. Yeah. Well, Dave, when we sold our subwoofers, I watched you drive down my driveway. I was so happy.
Yeah, it broke his back.
I forgot how happy they were.
I didn't know if he was rolling in. So that's fine. I just thought maybe he was him singing it in.
So.
I'm starting to open up more than others. I know 2020, we lost all our shows in like 2 weeks. And then this year, and booked all the shows. I think everyone was so happy. You got long days on. Thank you. I worked out really fun. Oh, yeah, I got one in the
Hey, Greg, hey, are you gonna kind of like follow up with that man stuff? Yeah, I emailed because that's your guys' kind of. I emailed him last night. The guy quit. I liked him. He's a good guy. I liked him. And I talked to John. John called me. He was AA. He was trying to go back. He wanted a position. He was going to do more direct litigating and wasn't in that sector. So Right, because it was funny, because after that, I was like, man, that guy does what he's doing, I really like that. But
I have
the other guy, new guy that sent an email, I sent him an email last night, so I had a couple notes I attached to it.
Well, I'm not a sound guy. You guys need to figure that out. Tell Brian. I don't know where they go.
He's done all the sound
I think you're pretty much good.
for real bands.
Yeah, I have.
Well, then we have to have him talk to Brian. You guys live in the wrong spot.
His name's Jeff Harris.
Hi, Jeff.
Really, I think the biggest thing is making sure the
Yeah.
discipline's right. That part of our land.
See, nobody knew we had rock and roll royalty in Brimfield.
Yeah.
I need to.
Seen a big band?
Oh, he's done it
Those are
all.
really.
Oh, yeah?
Everything else.
Anybody I know?
It doesn't
Where
change. So all that, you just cut and paste.
Doing what? Playing? You're a hairband guy.
Yeah.
He's got the right. He's amazing.
Right. Right.
Craig, I'm gonna be on vacation.
So what did you do? Did you play? Oh, sound. Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna let you guys know watch that. Yeah, free to swing over.
Yeah, you just named all my favorite bands, so. Where'd you live before you moved out, or when you knew John? Did you live in the allotments there? Okay. Okay. I just didn't know if you lived in Beechcrest allotments where John lived. Okay.
It is kind of a big deal.
Well, how old are you?
It is, but yeah, I mean,
Do you know the last name Delzell? I have a brother and a sister, Jeannie and Jim Delzell. Well, my brother knew. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't want to get Rico's anymore.
I didn't see it.
It's a dumb
Oh, John brought checks to me today, so I'll have to go over and look at it.
Nah, they can't, don't ask me. Well, Nick has been seeing it, so I think we should wait till next.
To do what?
The no-pack. This was a packet of no-pack stuff, so.
Oh, yeah. It's, Sue had it, right? Or who had it? Who had it? No pick.
We all got one.
Okay. You had it yesterday.
I took mine, read it, and tore it up.
All right.
Are we just gonna wait till next week?
On the no pick stuff.
I would love Nick to read through it.
We're gonna do it or not do it?
Well, we're not in a meeting, but we can talk about it.
Well, we need, yeah, we need to talk about it. Okay.
So we got 2 minutes.
Well, since you know how to speak, could you get him to come to our next Brimfield?
Yeah, we need to start getting some of those bands in the park. We just need to have Jeff give us all those changes.
Go snake at it.
I know. Was he 75 years old? 73? He's up there. I went and saw.
How do you stop with it, you know? I mean, open the Mark Meadows concert on Saturday. Mark, yeah. And he said he's done right. Yeah, I said, right, Mark. Sure you will.
I went to, it was after they were all crunk, I went to Fandango, do you remember that at all? That was last Monday. Morgan was Morgan, and Red, LA Guns, Docket, and somebody else. But they were all there playing, so we had front row seats, got to those sticks, I got Facebook pics. I took all of them for a long time, we all went and sat in the front row there. Yeah, because they were all in my age bracket, graduating in the 80s. So.
I know by the end of the year playing out that I'm ready for a break, but then come May, I tell you, it starts to start getting that little itchy. Yeah, but just COVID, we turned it all around. You know, now it's all COVID friendly. You know, I would love to have live music, but BMI and staff, assessors, I mean, they're second horse. They want to take all your money. I mean, you're not making any money. Right, just to bring live entertainment. There's just hardly any places that have live entertainment. It's a shame, man. Okay, it's 8 o'clock.
Yep. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees meeting to order for Wednesday, October 6th. Roll call for attendance, please.
All those in attendance, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
We have a full board.
All right, I'd like to ask everybody, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. The flags are on this side. Over here. Yep. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor, would you lead us in open prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, we do thank the Lord for, well, I guess this time of the season where things change, colors are getting more vibrant, Lord. We know it symbolizes death and new life in the spring, but we thank you, Lord, with all the change that we're going through now and the cold weather to come, that, Lord, you don't change, and we just thank you for that. So we ask you to be in this meeting, Lord. We pray that it be a meeting, that things will be said and done in a proper way, and we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, announcements and correspondences. I'll ask the board first. Do you have any announcements or correspondences, Sue? No? Mike, any announcements or correspondences?
Not really. Other than that, as I'm walking, I mean, I'm sure you're understanding what all the people are saying.
Right.
There's definitely a lot of positives in the community, few negatives, but overall, people have been pretty receptive to what we're doing. So I did have a few comments on the roads, but I think, I guess we're talking about possibly doing a thing because folks just don't understand that it's only the first coat. They got to come back.
Right.
And they got to, and you know who I'm hearing most from? I mean, two people. They're motorcyclists.
Right.
And they're the ones that had the thing and the issue. So, I mean, Dave, those are out there. I'm trying to explain it to them, and I think they understand, I think.
Well, once the project gets completed,
Right.
it'll be a complete different aspect.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been seeing the roads. They are definitely, the people just don't understand the process. I mean, they think it's the old fashioned chip and seal.
Yeah, they would have had 3 months of rocks on that. Now, the way it is now, it's a week. and
Yeah, it's
pretty
almost
much
done already. Yeah,
Yeah.
most areas pretty smooth.
And I'm trying to get them to understand that we're doing maintenance, The one guy that you got quite a phone call from was quite interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see him come talk to me.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't quite understand, he wants the road paved. So we do what, a mile of road or a half a mile of road? And then, but look how many miles of road we did with this better process.
Right.
So I think we just have to, maybe Nick do a video
Was it
and then just explain things to people.
Yeah, I think we need to recap again the road
Because
process.
they forget, they don't know that it's maintenance we're doing,
Right.
so.
Getting more life out of the roads this way.
Right.
Oh, we have 8 miles of roads almost.
I know,
We
this is a half a
just
mile paved
take
road.
care of, yeah.
Right.
Doesn't, makes,
The price difference is astronomical, so.
and I know
You
in
understand.
a week or so, we're not gonna hear anything. Is
Right.
anyone gonna call and say, damn, my road's great?
No.
No.
Only call when they complain.
Dave, what's it called that 43 did?
It's a slur code.
Kind of similar to that.
Right.
So you got the state of Ohio doing it too. So, I mean,
Right.
it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. And it lasts almost the same amount of time.
Yeah.
All right. Any other announcements or correspondences from department heads? Okay. All right, then today we have a meeting guest, I believe Jeff Hare from Parks Property. So the floor is yours.
Okay, I have a vacant lot at 3761 Selnick. I've had it for a long, long time, maybe 20 years or so. And I was originally going to put a small home on it, and that fell through. So I tried to sell it for maybe 10 years for kind of what the going price is in that neighborhood. At that time, it was between 20 and 30-some thousand for a vacant lot, just that size, half acre. And people would come and they would have a builder come, and like every property back there, it's kind of wet back there. So everyone that builds there has to truck in a lot of topsoil, like a lot, hundreds of tons. And so no one seemed interested in buying my lot because then they said they would have to spend all this money on that to bring material in. So I took it off the market for a long time. And recently I put it back on, lowered the price quite a bit. Still had people saying the same exact thing. I think that's an unbuildable lot as it is. I need to do so much work, and you couldn't have a basement unless you really put some money into the lot. A lot of places there don't have basements, slab. So finally, I was talking to a couple friends. I talked to my accountant, and he said, could you donate the vacant lot to Brimfield? And in lieu of, in exchange for a tax donation letter.
I'll write you a letter right now.
That's what I want. And I really, I just want whatever's the market value of a half-acre lot back there in Selma.
It's the one on the curve, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I think you own the property right next to it. It's
Well,
not-
we own there's a little sliver that we own there, but
Right, there's a house, an A-frame, my lot,
then the lake,
and then you own the property right next to it.
and then the lake's on the other side.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought it'd be a good fit. You already own property just on one side of it.
I started to look at it. It wasn't really well, I saw.
It's, a builder goes in there and goes crazy on it because he's trying to make a bunch of money on it. Everyone that's done houses in there, I watched over the years, they bring truckload after truckload of topsoil in. They do a ton of work to it, but a house eventually came up out of it,
Does that property touch the back of the golf course? Or is there another lot between it?
Isn't it Stessel's or?
I really don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
I meant to ask Joe. I'm pretty-
It's real close. If it's
close to Joe's property.
Yeah.
Why not? I just didn't know if there was another property or if it butted right next to Joe's.
I think
Well, it's
we,
either Joey's or Dustin's.
I think we own, this is his property here. We own this sliver.
Yeah.
This is the golf course, and then this is Portage County here.
Oh.
So the way that it
Is that
touches,
the lake?
this here is,
That's the water treatment.
It's the water treatment area.
Between me and the golf course then.
Well, it's that piece that goes along, is it in the front of, on the
This
side
here?
of the, to go up?
this here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
there's
own
no-
this.
Okay, that's right. I didn't know it was in the back there. I just knew it was that little sliver next to the road.
Yep,
Okay. So we wrap around the whole thing.
yep.
Mike, I don't believe it touches us.
I know Joey had they had it
Who's on
surveyed,
the side
just
of
to
that?
be sure. Not, just because he has to have a few issues.
This here,
That's Portage County?
yes. That's the water treatment.
Yeah, it's part of the water well.
Yeah.
And you said
I think
that's
it'd
the
be
golf
some
course?
green space. You don't have to really develop it, just use it, leave it as green space.
We're always looking for, places for people to watch birds and do all those kind of things like that. It's probably a good,
There's a good one
good
for
thing
that.
for that.
It's all overgrown now. Someone might want to clear it. I did originally clear it when I was. Clear that lot.
Yeah, sure, I got it.
I signed up boots for it.
Yeah, we went and walked back there.
No, I've been insuring it for years and years and years, and it just didn't make sense. I have no plans whatsoever for it any longer. It doesn't. I bought a nice farm on Old Forge, and I'm fine with that. So I just want to give it to you.
I'm not gonna do that. You guys are good with that.
Okay, well, we gotta, I'd make a motion, but we gotta come up with a number.
Let's everybody look at it. I don't know, what do you think it's worth? $15,000, $20,000?
20, yeah, I was originally asking 29. That's all the places that were for sale that were on a half acre. I don't know what they sold for, but they started out by asking 29.9.
Yeah, they all vary.
20s.
We've been playing around. It doesn't matter to me. $20,000.
Isn't the average, on average acre?
The tax?
25, so 20, that's fine.
$95.
95, yeah.
The value of the property.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Oh, so that's not 95 months.
But
It
it has,
should be a
has a small
valuation for
frontage.
the-
Make it fair.
Has a small,
Well, for tax
Frontage
value,
on
it would be about 35% of the actual value. But
All right, maybe I'm jumping too far and I just didn't know.
it's $95. We checked it out.
All right, you
Well,
understand?
John, I can make a motion in the positive so we can talk about this. I'm gonna make a motion that we accept,
I know, we'd have to actually do that under official business. This is just.
Yeah,
that's
Yes,
right, you're right.
So
Why don't we wait till,
Yep.
why don't we, how long are you gonna stay?
or we can just call them and let them know.
I mean, when we get to parks, we can just do it under parks.
Yeah, because right now, we're not an official business. It's
You're
public forum. And
Then
then,
the informative part. of-
yeah, this is where you kind of gives people a chance to talk about what they want to do, and then it would have to be on the agenda for
Yeah, you're right.
for actual discussion.
Okay, I printed out, just from the county records there, the parcel number, that sort of thing. It's titled to Relax Limited LLC, which I'm the president of, and I printed out the papers of incorporation, which are from March 10th of 2000.
Okay.
I had a company, and the company I basically, not for a year, a couple of years now, but I did buy and sell a couple of houses as flips, and that's what the company was all about, is for holding title to a house I was gonna fix up and then sell. So,
Jeff, what's the address of that?
3761 Selnick.
Nick, when we get to.
When we get to the agenda, we'll amend the
Put it as
agenda.
two under, or be under admin, I think we should put it under parks.
Yeah. All right, any other comments or questions for our guest today?
Nope.
All right.
We're gonna have concert back there then, you gonna set that up?
It's too wet for a concert. You'll have to bring me some
No, they would just be a public comment.
That's, I think
Jeff,
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna, when we get
We
into,
can call
they have to
you.
be in business for us.
We can call you if you want us. or-
Yeah.
So,
Then you don't
what we
have to
do is
sit
put you
here
guys
for
to
the
the
whole
front of the
thing.
agenda.
And then you could also watch it. You can
Yeah,
watch
no, I already
it.
noticed that, so, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
All of our meetings.
all of our meetings are on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, yeah, okay, thanks a lot,
Okay,
Jeff.
thanks.
Nice seeing you.
Cassie, do you have all Jeff's
All right, we will
contacts?
move
Yeah.
into next piece, meeting minutes.
For whenever they-
I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes from September 22nd.
And I'll second that.
Oh, thank you.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Need a motion to approve the agenda?
Well, we're going to.
We have to, we gotta make the motion.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it for discussion. All right, any changes or amendments to the agenda from the police department? Fire department, any changes or amendments? Under administration, number 2, B as in boy, will be 3761 Selnick Road vacant land.
Where'd you put that under?
Administration 2, B as in boy.
Okay. I thought we could do that under parks.
We need to do it under admin, because
It's an admin, choir.
Okay.
Zoning, economic development, any changes?
I'd like to add the Americana Development DBA Martin Wheel Enterprise Zone Agreement. I'd like to move that up under new business.
It is under new business. It's gonna be 2B as in boy. Any changes from road department?
Good.
Hey, I just want Dave to give us an update on Estes Road project, Dave Smith.
All right, so change 1A from none to Estes Road
under roads.
project. Okay. Actually, just call it project updates, because I have a couple questions too.
So it's. So you
One,
want two.
No, 1,
then?
no, 1A would not be none. There's still old business out there. It's project updates. Any changes to Parks and Rec?
Nope.
Anything on here for cemetery, Sue?
No.
Any changes from fiscal?
No.
All right, we have an amended agenda with under administration 2B as in boy, 3761 Selnick. Also road 1A as in Adam, project updates would be the amendments to the agenda.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue?
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, purchase orders. I need a motion for purchase orders.
I have reviewed them and I've signed them. I'm making a motion to approve them.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
all right, I need a motion for warrants.
I can
So
make-
moved.
Go ahead, Sue made that.
I will second that.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, and we'll now open the floor up to public comments and questions. We ask that the public limit their comments and questions to 5 minutes, and please state your full name and address before speaking. With that said, floor is open. Public comments, questions?
My name is Bill Anderson, 2473 Acorn, representing the Butternut Ridge HOA. I've gotten several comments from the residents wondering and wanting to officially put into a meeting that we would like our allotment streets and curbs repaired, and we'd like to see if we can get that on next year's agenda. Acorn probably being the worst, needing repaid.
You know where that is on the list?
I'm not positive. We're gonna reevaluate the list this year. I mean, we're looking into some other roads. We have some other roads that, issues have started on them worse than what Acorn and Buckeye and all that is. We have roads that are starting to split open, that are getting gaps in them. So we're evaluating this stuff. I've been talking to the county and that stuff, so. We got King Ridge and stuff. There's areas that the road's splitting, it's separating. So you're looking at, we got to compare what's going to be the worst of the worst next year.
Well, Bill, just so you know how we do each year, right before the next budget year, we go through the whole evaluation of all the roads, and then we figure out how much money we have, get some prices, and then we start on the top of the list and work our way down as far as we can go. But, so note it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
The only reason that our roads aren't gapped with big cracks is because they came in and sealed them and put gravel over them to control them, and I understand that. Or otherwise they'd be much worse. But if you go down Acorn, it's like a washboard. I would question if any of you can drink a cup of coffee driving down that road. One of the residents just bought a brand new Corvette and says he has to creep down the rotary to bottom it out. But anyhow, those are just concerns from residents. It's not all from me, just because I have lived on Acorn, but it is a mess. And worst case or best case is if we can't get it into a budget, can we at least have the tops ground off of all the washboard down through there?
Well, and kind of where we're at too, just so you know how the budget works for next year, we take over carryover balances from the year prior. So we're just trying to finish up all of our other, so then I'll know how much money we have left to carry over, plus the tax money, which will give us a lump sum to figure out what we need to do with it.
I understand.
We'll put it, I'll make sure it's on the list.
Well, it's being evaluated. Like I said, I have the county looking at different ones. They're gonna evaluate, like John, come up with their recommendation, what we feel, and again, you hate to say it all comes down to mine. So,
Yeah, I understand.
I'm gonna walk through your neighborhood, so I'm gonna really look, and so I know exactly what it's like.
Don't want you to drink coffee while you're driving around.
I can't drink coffee the way I drive, period.
Well, just get a glass of beer. Other two questions that I had brought to me, I have no idea. I think it's based on the fact nobody wants to do research themselves, but police department levy, I had a couple of people ask me how big is that levy?
right, what's the total valuation on that?
It's a 1.95 mil
Okay,
levy. The cost would be $68 annually per 100K. And I can just tell you now, there's a mailer that's gonna be coming out here. It should be coming out by the end of this week, if not in the first part of next week. BPDSafetyLevy.com is the information website that's up now. If you want to point folks from the HOA to that as well, that'll kind of fill in some blanks more than just those basic numbers I just gave you.
okay,
So BPDSafetyLevy.com.
okay. And somebody else asked when the fire department is gonna start construction.
So, we've signed, all the contracts have been signed. Yeah, everything's been signed. We were working with USDA. As you can imagine, working with the federal government is difficult, but we finally got all the paperwork done. Groundbreaking ceremony is set for the 12th of this month. They're mobilizing now. They could be on site today or tomorrow, starting some initial electrical work.
I was told Monday.
Monday, they'll do the electrical work.
Okay. People starting to come in Monday.
Well, thanks, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Is that when they're gonna put the fence up and all that?
I can address that in my meeting stuff, but to answer that right now, I don't know. They're coming in Monday. I don't know what that means. Is that fences? Is that dozers getting dropped off? I don't know that yet.
All right, other public comments or questions? All right, hearing none, we'll move, safety concerns. Any safety concerns that need reported to the board?
Hey, Dave, on, what is that, Lynn Road, where Cranberry Creek is, Linwood. If you're coming down towards Troy's area, Troy's house, down, when you're heading from the park down to Sherman, there's trees that are hanging over that if you're speeding, you can barely see the sign.
Edson?
No.
Sure.
The road Sherman, what is it, Linwood?
Lynn?
Lynn.
Oh.
Yeah, from Lynn to Sherman, that stop sign right there. If you look, if you're coming down from the park to Sherman, you'll see they're starting to overhang. I mean, if you drive slow like me, it doesn't matter. Just, just so whenever you have time. It's nothing bad, just.
On the corner?
Nah, somebody moved into there.
Oh, okay. That old house was up on the corner there. That's probably their yard.
Yeah, if somebody just hanging the stop sign, we should be able to trim them back.
Yeah,
I know, but I
they're
think it was
far
vacant
back,
for a
so
while.
Just, I think, just whenever you get a chance. Hey, just real quick, make sure you, if you can do some weed killer around that Cranberry Creek sign.
What, the dog park sign?
Yeah,
Oh.
no, the main side of the park, it's the one side's filling in with weeds. It doesn't look crisp.
All right, any other safety concerns? All right, hearing none, we're going to move into the business portion of our meeting. I would ask that zoning and economic development goes first, if that's okay, Roy, just so we can get our guest out the door. So,
Yep, I'd like to welcome Americana Development, DBA Martin Wheel. They're here. And I'm going to give them the floor. They're up for a vote with you guys with the enterprise zone.
yes. All right, so welcome, thank you so much for being here today. The floor is yours.
Daryl Ruthrock with Martin Wheel, currently in town. I've been there about 27 years now, so I know a little bit about the business. But we finally have outgrown our space. We have located in Talmadge, and because of the wetlands we have behind there, we have about 25 acres there. The wetlands are not buildable or prohibited, as earlier you guys said, can't build over wetlands. So we've decided to move. So this is and we're moving to the where the old Maple Crest golf course was there. It would be on the left side as you go in between the Myers and the Menards. It'd be behind the Menards side. So there's a large detention pond there. This would be the Menards property here. This is the detention pond, and we would build from there. We're looking to purchase the whole 20 plus acres section here, so everything to the left of the roadway that starts back there. They have to complete this roadway here. It's not in yet, the only road is right here. But we are looking at purchasing that whole plat of land there. First phase would be to build 180,000 square feet of manufacturing space, manufacturing and warehousing space. Truck dock doors all in the back, so they're away from the street. Employee parking here, and then have provisions to add on 2 additional 180,000 square foot buildings as time allows, as expansion is needed. Currently, we've just totally outgrown our building. It's got 16 additions on it. My boss complained a while back that you guys have too much stuff buried in the corners. I said, well, we have 64 corners. His building down in Atlanta has 4 corners, the same size. So it's a bit of a challenge working with different roof heights and buildings, and we're actually on 2 levels. So it's very congested, and we've just totally outgrown the space. About 70% of our business goes to retail customers. We sell Menards, Tractor Supply, HomeDepot.com, trying to get into Lowe's, True Value hardware stores, Rural King, if anybody's familiar with those locations, as well as other farm and fleet stores across the whole country. So we just don't have the space to get the orders together. We also supply some OEMs with wheels, like MTD, grasshopper mowers, other people in the lawn and garden equipment business. We supply them the entire wheel assembly that they can now own their machines in. So that would be the new building there, the location. This is kind of the different elevations of it. Here would be the back side with all the dock doors, and this one down here would be the front side. 180,000 square feet of production and warehousing space, and about 10,000 square feet of office space to begin with. And like I said, then as we would allow to expand further out, we could continue the office space across the front of the building on the road facing side. So that's the plan. And for those that don't know, Martin Wheel is owned by Kenda. You may see that name on our building if you drive by. That's our corporate parent. They're the 26th largest tire manufacturer in the world, headquartered in Taiwan. We have 2 plants there, 3 plants in China, multiple plants in Vietnam, and now we're also expanding into Indonesia. We think that's going to be the next manufacturing location, as people are quickly scrambling to get out of China right now because of all the issues going on. So we actually had moved to Vietnam about 5 years ago, had 1 plant there making bicycle and scooter tires. We've expanded that plant to now build passenger car radial tires, as well as lawn and garden tires, which is our primary focus, lawn and garden, golf cart, and trailer tires. So that's the plan. I don't know if you have questions.
I do have a question, so.
I figured that.
Martin Wheel and Americana, what's on the building? What are we calling it when people ask?
It'll say Kenda
It'll say Kenda.
is the corporate. Yeah, Americana Development was when the family first started the business here, all their US affiliates became owned by that, but now that company has now been purchased by Kenda Corporate. So we're all under the Kenda.
Okay.
Kenda. We still use the Martin Wheel name for some products we import that are not made by Kenda. They don't want the Kenda name on them for sale. So if you go into Menards or Northern Tool or somebody like that, you'll see Martin Wheel box energy, because those aren't necessarily made by Kenda, but they're sold by Martin Wheel. So we pretty much phased out the Martin Wheel name. It's been around for 75 years. It was actually started at Talmadge in 1946. So been around a long time. We were just using that basically as a brand name.
And then what is the projected build date?
We haven't started yet. We're getting
I know I'm jumping ahead.
plans finalized, but I guess early 2023 we hope to be in.
Okay.
A lot of it depends on availability of product. We all starting to hear in the news. We've been struggling with containers and product shortages for about 9 months now, but it's finally getting out into the mainstream news. All the container ships backed up on the ports and everything else. And so the price of steel has really shot up the last 6-8 months. So we're kind of waiting for that to come down a little bit. So we want to get the land purchased, start the design of the building. So once prices come down or they're at a suitable level, we can pull the trigger and get the stuff purchased. And then, as Jeff said, what, about a year right now? The steel portion of the building delivery is running about a year right now. So but that could change. Everything changing so rapidly in today's economy and markets.
And last question, and then John, someone else can go. How many employees approximately?
Right now, we have about 90 when we can get them. We're like everybody else struggling to get employees. Eventually, we think we would be about 140, somewhere in that range.
Right.
That would be fully staffed to get our business to where we want to be able to grow the way we want to grow and satisfy the needs of the customers.
And then I'm assuming the other acreage would be for expansion if need be.
Right, we could build 2 additional 180,000 square foot buildings on that
I
property.
mean, it makes sense to build it that way.
And if need be, we could extend the driveways in the back and put more dock doors across the back. So
What is the manufacturer? Is it the actual iron wheel that you do, or do you do any of the tire in there, or what?
no, we don't manufacture tires. All our tires are brought in from our overseas plants.
Okay.
We actually manufacture the wheels. We don't do any of the stamping of the metals. Basically, we have a company in Akron, Pioneer Tool and Die. They stamp the wheel halves, if you will, like a dish, and those 2 are pushed together, then welded, center tube put in it to hold the bearings and powder coat. So we weld, powder coat, and assemble, and then we mount the tires onto the wheels and ship them out.
Oh, okay.
And some of those we import, we bring in. We also have other plants within the US that make wheels, so sometimes we bring in
And they do
those
wheels from
in our facility, just do the mounting and then the fulfillment.
How many acres within your 140 people that you were thinking? Would that be just phase 1? And could
That would be phase 1.
could we expect 140 times 3 going into the back?
No, because as we expanded more, it would probably be more warehousing and less manufacturing, so it's not as labor intensive.
Okay.
But I see that growing as time goes on. Right now, we were up to about 120, I guess pre-COVID, and then we dropped way down. We were down as low as 85 at one time, maybe in the 80s. But we recently changed our wage structure to get more people, and it has seemed to help in the last 3 weeks. We are seeming to be turning over more people, which costs us money, but if we don't get the product out, we don't get paid. So you just kind of got to take the bullet and do it. But we based our raises on attendance. If people get there 40 hours a week, they get there on time, all 5 days, they get a $2 a week, $2 an hour increase in their pay going forward to the next.
Isn't that crazy? You have to
So,
do that
yeah, you have to
now?
make
Show up to work.
Yeah, who would have thought you'd see these times like this? We get people in and they say, well, you mean I have to be here every day? Well, yeah, we work Monday through Friday. So now, well, you mean I need to be here at 6 o'clock every day? Well, we're working shipping and be here at 7:30. Well, I can't be here every day at 7:30. You know, and they just don't get it. So we're trying to, you know, so what we need, you know, people here, we need them here all the time. So we want to pay people more money. We've got some loyal people that have been there for 20 plus years. But just to throw out $2 an hour didn't seem to make sense. We had to get something back in return. So we tied it to attendance, and so far it seems to be working. I think we had 6 temps. We had 8 scheduled for Monday, but 6 showed up. Get a lot of people, they say they're going to come in, hire them, then they just don't show. There's 2 temps or full time.
I'm going through the same thing with my business, but I truly appreciate you looking at Brimfield and wanting to make a commitment to Brimfield, because a lot of the people who really don't understand how Brimfield works financially is through the JEDs.
Right.
And see, you know, our fire, road, police, I mean, without these increase in the JEDs, because they all get 30% of the JEDs.
Right.
For their thing. I mean, that's one, you know, as more businesses and employees come in, it's less we have to ask the residents for levies.
Right.
Because, you know, townships are levy based, which is terrible. But I mean, that's the only way we can do it. So I mean, I truly appreciate you guys coming in. Well, and working with Mike, and you know, the big thing I really want to try to, I don't know how you can do it. It's so hard because with all these different zip codes, everyone says they're in Kent, Ohio. Hell no, they're not in Kent, Ohio. They're in Brimfield Township. So anything you can do to help, you know, we're trying to brand the community, but then, you know, everyone thinks they're in Kent, so everyone wants to join the Kent Chamber.
Right.
They're not part of the Kent Chamber. This is Brimfield. So whatever you can do to help us push our message out.
Can retire Brimfield home office.
Yeah, I just don't want to say Kent. That just drives me crazy, drives the other trustees crazy.
Can't call it Talmadge either.
No. But they like it. It's relatively close to where we are now. We don't think we're going to lose much of our workforce. We may lose a few hourly workers, but I don't think we'll lose any salary workers. It's, a lot of them already live in Portage County, so it's not far right. Some actually already live in Brimfield, so they're chomping at the bit to have a 2-minute drive instead of a 2-minute
Right.
drive.
Well, you're moving into the center of Portage County. I mean,
Yeah.
Portage County doesn't know that, but Brimfield is the center.
Okay.
We're the gateway, we're the gateway to Portage. So.
Amen.
No, this is exciting. You know, this is what we've talked about, Mike Ladd and I, with economic developments. You know, the housing came that put a strain on the township, but we knew that was the first step. The next piece is getting like industrial in, and landing companies like yours is really important for our community and help us to sustain in the future. So I'm excited to hear this presentation. Sue, do you have any questions today?
No, I don't. I think it's wonderful.
So Mike, can you walk us then a little bit through this enterprise zone before we, I know I understand it, but just so the public understands what we're asking for today.
The township is offering them a 10-year, 60% abatement on their taxes for 10 years.
On
It's a
property
great-
tax.
On property tax. It's a wonderful company. First step is going here, and then we'll get it approved at the county level as well. Brad, what was the meeting date again?
I think that's next Thursday.
Next Thursday, and I'll be there in attendance as well. So,
And just one more clarification, that's 6% on the improvement plan.
correct, on the improvement plan.
On the 66.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. All right, well, I'd like to make a resolution, a motion for resolution approving an agreement within the rural enterprise zone of Brimfield Township, Ohio, with Americana Development Incorporated and Americana Development Incorporated DBA Martin Wheel and Portage County tax abatement for real property only, and authorizing the township to enter into the same. Whereas a rural enterprise zone within the corporate boundaries of the township of Brimfield was certified by the Ohio Department of Development on October 18th, 1990, in accordance with ORC 5709.63C, the Portage County Board of Commissioners appointed the chairman of the township trustees as administrator of the enterprise zone. Whereas in accordance with revised code 5709.61 and 25709.63, the township and the county must approve all agreements with enterprises wishing to establish, occupy, and renovate or expand businesses within the zone. Whereas the township is in receipt of the enterprise zone agreement attached hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference agreement, which contains all information required under Ohio Administrative Code 122-4-3-02 from the Americana Development, with its main offices located at 7095 Americana Parkway, Reynoldsburg, Ohio, and Americana Development Incorporated DBA Martin Wheel, where its main offices are located at 342 West Avenue, Talmadge, Ohio. Whereas any notices required by statute have been provided to the school district, and any request relocation waiver has been obtained from the Director of the Ohio Department of Development, formerly known as the Ohio Development Services Agency. Whereas the agreement is based upon the expressed conditions therein in this resolution, in the event of any substantial default by any party in the performance of those conditions, the agreement shall terminate and at the option of either party upon 30 days written notice from the non-defaulting party without correction of the default. And whereas the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees finds and determines entering into the agreement is in the best interest of the townships and its residents. Need a second on that?
I will second that.
Just clarification, Mike, we did run this by the school board and we got support from the school.
Schools are supportive for this.
Okay, and then we also, Ohio Department of Development has reviewed all the documents, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And Talmadge as well. We received a letter of support from Talmadge.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions from the board before the vote on this?
Nope.
All right, roll
All
call,
those in
please.
favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. Great, Meadow. Appreciate it. Appreciate your business.
Look forward to working with everybody and
You're welcome.
becoming a part of the community.
You got a lot of construction ahead.
Cassie's gonna be coming down and asking for park gifts for us soon,
Yeah.
so. Donations for
Sign this so that then they can take this forward to the county.
That's right. You know,
That'll do the
you,
job.
actually, you
Yep.
should correct it.
Then we
Nick,
also need to, hang on guys, we
Hey,
also got
Nick.
more to sign. Yes.
can we make a correction? It's actually 30 acres of property on that. And this is the contractor that's going to be working.
Okay.
Just so record. So he's building both. So.
Okay.
Great. Cassie, you need to go ask him for gifts too. He's got 2 big buildings he's building. Hey, Mike, do you have this electronically? Lauren has it?
I do.
Can you have her email it to me?
Yes.
So I make it easier for Rochelle and Kurt's gonna put it in the release.
Sure.
I'll get you a copy of this after. I
No,
make
just
a
let him
copy
finish
back.
up all of that
Okay.
section, then we'll move on.
And you want me
Thank
to give it to you, Mike?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want me to send it somewhere else or?
No, you could give it to me. I'm going to have Diane pick it up, then they're going to give it to the county.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
And we got some more for the board to sign before we move on.
Short.
This guy.
Short. I'll pass it along. Don't eat the porridge, it's spoiled. Chick knows that.
There's gonna be.
Don't eat the porridge, it's spoiled. I was passing it on. That's the Little Rascals thing. Do you even know what the Little Rascals
There you
are? No, Mike gets it. No, we're gonna.
Also got a couple of brochures here, tell them what you're doing.
Great.
I'll leave some here.
Perfect, thank you.
See all the different things.
Thank you so much and welcome to the community.
Thank you.
I got a packet of papers for you to sign real quick. It's part of that contract.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me keep one for the file there. You'll like, look through it and whatever. Dave's got one. I'll steal Dave's.
Yeah.
Dave, give that one big.
I'll just
when
look
you're
there
done.
real quick.
No, I just want to keep one for the file. I got it.
You can
I
have
just wanted to see,
You wanted to what?
I just wanted to see what the wrong parts are.
So you can start buying from them.
Mike, you can continue with with the zoning section as we sign this document. Sweet.
So the next zoning commission meeting is October 4th, or 14th at 7 o'clock. The next Board of Zoning Appeals hearing is October 20th. Regional Planning is October 13th at 4:30. The next on the list is what you're going to see with this Kenda Tire and as well as everything with Maple Crest back there is we have a tax and increment financing agreement. It's in draft form. Mark is reviewing it as we speak. We're hoping to have this at the next meeting and have all the TIFs wrapped up, at least from our standpoint.
So this tips are for the
Roadway.
Emmerich.
Yeah, this will be for the roadway going back for Kenda Tire.
Okay.
As well, there's going to be 2 of them. We'll have the maps laid out for you and broad where the TIFs are going to be. Right now, we're getting 5%, and it's going to stay that way.
And the schools are still
Schools
made
are
whole.
100% on board right now.
Okay.
So we're just finishing up the paperwork with that. We've had meetings every Thursday at 4:00 and with their attorneys, and I think we've got a good package. So.
Okay.
Thank you again for approving Americana Development, DBA Martin Wheel. I think this is an asset to Brimfield. It's going to be a very large industrial business, and it's going to help us with that, Judd. Heritage of Brimfield Nursing Home has started. If anybody's gone past, they're going to start on the actual building construction. The signs are marked out both there and at the school. I talked to Craig with GDI, and he's going to be getting started on those. Actually, it's Jared from Suffield is going to be starting on the excavating, and they should get to the block work soon.
Is he going to be this week or next week, hopefully? Because we're getting late. Okay.
Yeah, they were just out of town, so they're coming back.
Okay.
Redwood Apartment Homes started framing. You can see those starting to pop out. Everything, all the concrete work and the underground plumbing is in. Now the homes are starting to come back up. Hickory Hills continues to work on the site. Hammer Manufacturing is coming out of the ground now, so if you go behind Meyer, you're going to start seeing some of the steel be placed. Wave Wash Car Wash continues to frame. It's kind of a cool framing. If you haven't been down there, it's a cool design on that building. So it's just past Arby's. Jiffy Lube has started grading and utilities at Cascades. They hit a little bit of a problem with some soils, and they're kind of held off a little bit, but once their geotech gets everything going, we should be moving pretty quickly. And then our total fees for the year is $217,691, which is, still a record year, and hopefully we could surpass that next year. That's a busy year.
Can you give me a little update on Hickory? What's happening back there? What's the delay on that build? It seems
It's
like
just
moving
slow. It's just slow. Contractors going slow. They don't have a lot of guys that they're throwing at it. They usually have typically 1 crew at a time working. So.
Okay. And then any update on the demolitions? When is one of those crews mobilizing for demo?
Yeah, so we have that our contractor is set. He should be starting here in the next week or so. There's actually 3 people at the excavating company that we hired had COVID, so it set us back a couple weeks. But they should get the 2 down. I don't know if you spoke with Mark as well, but we're going to go through the courts on the one house, and that's 1435 Talmadge. We're going to have them remove everything and give them notice to get everything out of the house. And
how close are we to getting that through the courts? Or is that going to be an elongated
Mark
process?
talked to Brett last week, and according to him, that we're going to be making a filing of either late this week or early next week, make a filing with the courts to vacate the property.
Okay.
That's the landscape.
We're talking the one by the Ultra Care.
Yeah, the landscape.
Yeah, we're going to do a notice to vacate, an order from the courts to vacate the property.
When will that be?
Mark is working with Brett now. I'm hoping the end of this week or beginning of next week. Send that
They're
order.
abusing it. It's turned into it.
If you go by in the morning, their cars are pretty much on the street.
The
They got so many people packed.
the one on Dora Lee, both Brett and Mark don't feel we need a notice to vacate. We believe that it's empty. But there's property there, and what they're talking about doing is auctioning. So I'll let you know further as we get that, but we won't do a notice of vacate on Dorley.
Who gets the proceeds from the auction?
That would come to, we would hold it into an account, and then we obviously have to be paid for everything,
So probably like an escrow account, I would think, and then we pay back for the demo cost.
And what they're looking at is if we get a storage unit too, we can also, instead of auctioning it off, we could get a storage unit, pay for the storage unit, and then put it back on the taxes.
Okay.
So either way it would work for us.
Sell the vehicles in the ground, maybe.
There's a vehicle and a boat, and there's a lot of stuff inside the house.
That's Chief's vehicle.
Which chief?
It's a van.
So you said you're trying to prepare, because if he's
We can
using
fight
it as
over
a business, even if they take the house down, he's not going to be able to store his equipment.
No, and we're adding that. I told Mark about that there's a landscaping business there, and we don't want it there once the house is gone. So that's where they're getting the order to vacate the property.
Can we, Roy, is there a way for the PD to kind of observe that landscaping area if they're blocking up and parking on the road as an obstruction and having some conversations about that in the mornings?
On
On-town.
street parking, is that what you're talking
It's
about?
About 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Not all the time, but
What's that address again?
1435.
Oh, you can't miss it. It's right next to Alter Care.
I've seen it
He's parking.
rarely,
Yeah,
chief, but they're right up against.
He's
the
got a
town
chipper in the
trail.
driveway, and he's parking on the front lawn in front of the
Yeah.
house.
And it's usually early morning.
Yeah, about 7:30 is
can't
when I
miss it, right?
noticed. 7:20, 7:30.
Yeah, we can follow up and take a look.
I don't,
and see what we see.
but they're not running a business.
As far as the zoning violations for the year, we will send you, I'll have Lauren send you an updated list. We've got a lot, but we've made a lot of progress. A lot of people appreciate the community when we send a letter that they handle it, so we don't have to take it to the courts. We did get a lot accomplished this year, and we'll send you that notice with everything that was finished up. But we do have some of these strangling ones where we got a demo, and after these demos, we have another 5 that I have to go after.
Did they do the other 2 already? That looked at Congress, did they?
No, that's what I was talking about earlier. So those 2, they should be working on right now.
Oh, okay.
And then they gave us a price for the parks for Cassie as well. There's that abandoned barn as well as the old concrete back there. And I sent the estimates to her. If she's willing to go forward with that, I'm not so sure. But we could do that at the same time. And, but yeah.
Will they remove
both had
everything
COVID
that's
and they were
there?
both down for 2 weeks. So
Did they remove everything when they?
everything, we're taking everything out.
So the
Yep.
barn with all the tires and all that, they remove all that?
No, the tires are still going to be there. I don't think they're taking.
Can we throw them in
didn't
the
get a
barn
price to
before they
remove
tear
the
it down?
tires yet. So.
Yeah, tire disposal is gonna be the problem with that property. as we move forward.
Can we dump them over on South Road there? Between South.
And one last question, so I mean,
Everything.
if this order to vacate, they ignore it, I mean, then,
We have the police come down with the order of vacation.
so you're gonna carry him out of the house
They
screaming?
have to leave, yep. It'd be a court order from the judge.
And again, because more.
No, I know.
More than fair.
You said he hasn't even called you.
Yeah,
No.
we've been fair
No.
with this whole process.
It's a shame we're losing the.
And he
whole-
came twice, so
Yeah.
you guys extended him twice, and he says he was just having issues with building. Building went with him, went through the house, what needed to be done to get this out of the status of demo.
I mean, the building sale was a good house, or was it,
It's fixable.
what a shame.
Mhm.
Whose house was that?
I can't remember whether it was Frank McCormick's or, I don't know. Frank McCormick lived in one of the 2 of them, and I can't remember which one. Frank McCormick was the original zoning inspector.
Was that Edgar's brother?
Huh?
Was that Edgar McCormick's brother?
No. Too bad you can't keep it and
I know, it's a shame.
fix it up as a historical house.
All right, so that's the status. All right, well, keep us posted.
He probably lived there because Briner lived in the one next door for the longest period of time.
Yeah,
So that was probably his.
yeah.
All right, other questions for zoning?
Mike, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike.
Appreciate it.
All right, we will get back into order then, so we'll go
Just bring
back.
us that steakhouse.
Longhorn? Yeah, I could say that. Longhorn was looking at
We're talking
Cascade.
from Mr. Keto or whatever.
So I
Say that
talked-
again?
Longhorn is looking next to Panera at Cascades.
Oh.
So Benchmark is working on it. They made an announcement to me that they're trying to close it with they'd like to work that deal out. So I'm hoping.
Can I just throw one thing in? I was curious the other day. Who's running Cascades now?
Benchmark.
So they gonna put the summer flags up and then put the fall flags up after that? I mean, it'd still say
Yeah.
spring and all those.
There's a maintenance guy, we could call him.
Yeah,
I know
that's
he's
just kind of
double-
like they
I think
stopped
he's
doing
double
all that
dated quite a
stuff
bit,
down
too.
there.
No.
Minutes ago.
Because some of the grass was really bad last year too, at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year this year. It just seems like the people that had it before took care of that stuff in the middle a lot, but now they didn't even change the flags anymore.
Yeah. And I think maybe there was some money issue now that they're filling the spots in. I think they're doing pretty good. I just signed papers yesterday for them to refinance that whole property, so I think things are going a little bit better.
Nice.
I could go for a long one.
Yes.
All right, let's move into the police department. Roy, floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. 2 informational items and 1 item that will require board authorization. Informational items, I wanted to share with you that one of our officers, Officer Matt Kennedy, has been selected by our Portage County Police Chiefs Association as the Portage County CIT Officer of the Year, which CIT is Crisis Intervention Training Officer of the Year. There were 4 nominations submitted from police departments in the county, and the County Chiefs Association voted, and they voted to select Matt from our department as being recognized for the good work he's done related to CIT over the last year. So Matt's going to be recognized by the Portage County Mental Health and Recovery Board at their recognition luncheon coming up on October 26th. That's going to be at Neomed. So I wanted to share that piece of information with you as a board. Second informational item is our department was recently selected by the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police Community Relations and Engagement Committee as their agency of the month for the month of October. I attached some information to my report to you if you had a chance to take a look at that. That information, all those photographs, information about our department and our community relations programming was disseminated across the state of Ohio to all the police departments and members of OACP. So it was a nice selection, nice recognition for some of the efforts our guys and gals put in and related to community relations. So I wanted to share that with you as well this morning. I have one item to require board authorization, as I indicated, and I will need authorization to process a purchase order in the amount of $6,979.40 payable to Midwest Public Safety for our cruiser and body cam cloud video storage.
I'll make a motion for the purchase of body cam and cloud video storage in the amount of $6,979.40 to Midwest Public Safety. Second for discussion.
I can second that.
Great. So this is just video storage, not new equipment. It's
Not
just
new
expanded
equipment, yeah, just our annual storage fee, and we actually were able to bring that number down a little bit. We updated some of our storage guidelines, so it used to be around 10,000, now we've got a knockdown of about 6,900.
Okay. All right. Additional questions on that? All right. Roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Are you still requiring executive session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll do that at the end of the meeting. All right. Additional questions for the police department? Anybody? You did say those flyers are coming out in the next end of this week.
Yeah, Vista Print had I got an email, it seems like everything seems to get delayed. So they said due to their volume of work, there was a temporary delay in getting out. So I'm expecting those to go out end of this week, first part of next.
So they're mailing everything.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody
Kinda like-
dropping off stuff or anything?
No, well, we're gonna do a separate piece with that. We'll be out on Saturday, October 16th, doing some neighborhood walking as part of that with some door hangers, but the mailer's a separate piece. And Vista Print had told me there was gonna be a slight delay, so my expectation is that should be all coming out in the direct mailing end of this week, first part of next.
Okay, so when you're doing the door hangers, are you gonna hit all the other allotments that you don't hit and put them in paper boxes and do all that?
Well, I've only got so many door hangers and so many volunteers.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna offer, I
Yeah.
get up early, I'll just drive around and hit the allotments that you don't
Well,
want.
your development's on the list, John. I'd be happy to reach
I don't do my
reach
needs,
out
but
to you. Yeah, but that's a long answer to a short question. which
just
is-
let me know.
Yeah, there'll be a separate piece with that as well, so.
If you need help passing them out.
All right.
And what's the web address again, just in case people are listening for the levy for info?
Sure, bpdsafetylevy.com, bpdsafetylevy.com. And the levy committee put that site together.
Correct. Yeah, but there's just general information out there. All right. Other questions for the police department?
I'm good.
All right, hearing none. Thank you for your report. We'll move in the fire department. Craig, floor is yours.
Really what the main thing that I've been working on is the station. So just to update everybody through weeks, months of paperwork that nobody really saw that some of us were involved in. We're to the point, we've signed the final paperwork with USDA, with RICON. Everything we need is done. So with that being said, Mr. Anderson asked earlier, and just to update on that is next week, next Monday, they're going to start mobilizing. I'm hoping to get a hold of the supervisor this week and kind of say what's first. What I anticipate being first is parking spots where, they need to put stuff, job trailers / how we're going to tape off the park area. Can we maintain that? So that's going to be right off the bat. I'm hoping to know by the end of this week on that. I guess we would do an update to the public then.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, we'll do continual updates as the process goes. But
Like I said, I need parking spots for ourselves. I need to maintain access, but we're going to have parking spots for the public and job trailers and stuff like that. So our parking lots are going to be full.
When we had that pre-construction meeting yesterday, so Roy, where we're at, they're talking 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks demo on that house.
Okay.
The reason they're demoing the house, even though we're not building over there first, is they'll have bulldozers deployed, so they just don't want to pay that deployment cost twice. I
Not
get
a
it.
problem. Yep, understood.
So that's where we kind of stand with that. So that may be additional parking too, Craig. I was thinking that vacant land over there, we can have contractors park there.
Right.
So we're all clear with them pulling the beams out of it.
Yep,
right?
no, and we mentioned that again in pre-construction yesterday. They marked that in their paperwork, so.
Which beams are they gonna save?
We're gonna walk it with them.
Okay.
So that'll be part of, we're actually gonna have a project manager on site that will work with us.
Let me know when you're gonna do that.
Okay.
And if I can run up.
Well,
I don't know if you've seen the basement, but it's got they're knee beams.
yeah, no, and they know it, it's on their agenda. And the nice piece is every Friday morning, we're gonna have a construction meeting and they're gonna tell us what they're doing for the next week. So we'll know ahead of time, so we make sure that we're all on the same page. And then once a month, John, there'll be a meeting that you'll need to be at, because on the 20th, they will send you pencil financials for you to review. And then the first meeting of the month, that's when we'll approve those financials and disbursements with USDA.
That's great.
Yeah, I got a letter from Frank yesterday, an email. I just have to respond back to him, so I'll give him the info he needs.
That's you.
Right. I just didn't have a chance to do it yesterday.
Yeah, well, Frank emailed again this morning. He said he found it and he sees that, yes, the finance pieces were there. He just needs a letter from you now.
Right. I just
So-
have to address those items that he had.
But yeah, other than that, I think it was a good meeting. It was a good kickoff
Yeah.
meeting. So,
I mean, I'll be in the trailer every day
Right.
with them, so I'll be updated constantly. So I'll be the main contact for questions, but you're gonna see a lot of stuff start moving.
yeah. And some of the purchase orders, you'll see, John, will be ahead of time because some of the stuff we need to try to get in because there's lead times on it. So you may see early purchase orders on this construction project for things like tech because of the semiconductor problems that we're seeing. So we may be making those orders now in order to ascertain that.
Well, they just have to pull out of that money that we have sitting there.
Yeah. So, but just so you understand why that's happening
That's fine.
early.
I get it.
They also, I think they said they're gonna try to bring some Connex boxes on site to store some equipment. For example, like doors are hard to get, so they might order the doors ahead of time.
I just have to float it for a month and
Right.
then I'll get reimbursed from the loan, so.
Right.
Okay. Yep, I'm good.
Okay.
You're gonna see work start and there may be delays because literally we're starting when winter starts. So if it gets too cold, you might not see anything going on. So we'll see. Also, like Kenda was saying about the steel trusses, we're at the same issue for the steel I-beams for the station. So there will be delays in this project. Just is what it is right now.
They said about 1 to 2 weeks and they'll have the full project chart put together for us. So basically they're doing a Gantt chart and it's going to show us each phase when things will happen. They're finalizing all that now that we give them the notice to proceed. So we'll have a pretty detailed plan of action here in the next 7 to 14 days.
So those Friday meetings are just informational, so if another trustee would sit in on one, I mean, we're not making decisions.
Yeah, no, strictly informational. They're just telling us what's going on. It's important for things like to make sure the fire department's not losing power at a certain point. IT isn't getting lines cut. That's going to take the whole system
Just
down.
might be interesting to pop in on one sometime.
Yeah, so they'll just be at the job trailer every Friday.
Okay, thank you.
With that being said, they're going to be on site October 11th, which is next Monday. Next Tuesday, the 12th at 6 p.m. will be our groundbreaking for internal people. I've already sent out an email. The public can come also. I mean, it's open to anybody, but at 6 p.m., I'm anticipating about a half an hour. I might say a couple things and we'll do our little groundbreaking ceremony and take some pictures and move on. So more than welcome.
It is open to the public. We're going to post that out there. Everybody that wants to come up, we encourage you to come up. We'll have drawings up there and be there to answer questions too.
Sounds good.
So I will keep you informed on that. That's all I have for the fire department.
Well, good job to both of you guys. I know this last
focus.
couple of weeks has been rough for both of you, so I know.
Right, well, I think
Finalizing all that.
it's a group effort to get all this done. I mean,
I know. But you guys did a
now
good
it's
job,
on me a
so
lot
thank you guys.
now, so I'll be
It's all Craig's
working hand in hand with
responsibility
them, so.
That's great.
Any other questions?
Nope, good job.
Administration stuff, on October 11th, next Monday, I'll have a bulldozer on site with, UCE Concrete, redoing the soccer fields. We had talked about that they weren't right and we were gonna get that fixed. Well, we've locked in a date of next Monday. So the whole week will be reshaping, retopsoiling, reseeding. I am working with Dave and his crew on that. So just giving you an update. There is a storage container on site that's locked now.
I won't say the code out loud in public, but it's locked up, but that's another piece to the pie.
And next year, we plan on having it painted. We're getting too late into the season, so it won't stay that bright
Sure.
yellow or
Yeah.
color it is, but.
Yeah, for right now, it's.
And hopefully building a shelter, if we could find a good business to donate the money.
Oh,
Hint.
well, again, it's funny because I was looking at Kenda, I'm like,
Wouldn't it be nice to have a shelter named after your
Right.
business?
Right, so I'm willing to ask, all they can say is no, so.
Doesn't hurt.
But, yeah, that, jumping ahead, there's plans for next year also. I can't take all the blame, but I'm gonna take the blame. The fields didn't get done right the way I wanted it, that's why we have to, and it was a mistake. Luckily, it was a free option the first time, and
But as you move
I
forward.
rushed it,
Yeah.
so.
As you move forward, that could be our center of our fairground.
Right, so we're gonna do it right this time, and hopefully playing on it in the springtime.
Yep.
So,
You gotta get Goose Patrol.
Yeah, they were up there again.
yeah, and so were the geese. So
Yeah, No, I'm saying the geese were up there. I drove by for
Oh,
practice
I
the
thought
other
you meant
night.
people spraying, I don't.
No, but it's building up. We had practice the other night and there was a lot of.
Yeah.
There's a way to take care of those.
All right, any questions for administration?
Yeah,
We do actually have under administration, letter B as in boy, 3761 Selnick for discussion. So for discussion, I'd like to make a motion to approve the donation of 3761 Selnick Road to Brimfield Township.
Okay, Sue's got it.
If I could just add in on that while you're there, just because I walked out there a little bit. It's $95 a year for the taxes on it. It's nothing.
I wasn't asking that, I said instead of guessing at a number, just what's the valuation of the property?
We've
That's
been
all
playing
I was-
around with another property. It's probably 15 to 20, but what do we care? We'll just put 20. It's a letter that I'm writing. He's gonna write it off on his tax.
That's all I was looking for,
Yeah.
not the
Right.
actual tax value per year.
I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, at least it's green space. It's not like you have to rush out and turn it into a park, but
There is, as you walked it, Cassie, did you walk it with him?
Yeah.
Was there any debris, droppings, tires, any stuff like that was observed back there that's gonna be an issue for us?
We went to walk it in June or July, so it's pretty overgrown, but there wasn't really anything that I noticed. So.
yeah, I didn't see anything.
It's just the woods, pretty
Yeah.
much.
It's just a jungle.
Yeah.
But it's green, so it's.
Well, and it's free for $95 a year.
And the neighbors are gonna like it. I mean, it's good.
And if 30 years from now, Brimfield Township wants to do another park over there and figure out, we got land for them. So it's,
Just be a piece that, we'll need to at least semi take care of that, Dave, so there might be a little mowing occasionally over there for your crew. Are you okay with that?
There's
there's not much
Not
to
much.
mow. It's just.
It's all trees.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's all trees, road mowers.
We need you to sweep the trees out.
So if you get pissed off at somebody, send them back with a chainsaw.
I'll probably do it after a meeting.
No, it's.
Is there a concrete pad on that
No,
property?
it's the other one.
It's the other one.
side. They had a mobile home on that slab, but that slab's still there. But that's like on the other side of that.
Oh, okay. I was just one, I could, for some reason I thought there was one in the.
The lot's almost across the street from Arthur,
Mhm.
but then on the curve is where the slab was.
After the poles, electric lines and stuff go straight back and then they angle around. It's just a curve in the road.
Dave, I don't see any way we'd ever even use it. It's just green space.
Any comments on the Selnick property?
No, I think it's good that he came in and offered it to us.
So we have a motion on the floor to accept the 3761 Selnick property in return for a letter from the fiscal office pricing the land at $20,000.
Yep. All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. I'll get that over to him.
Okay.
Cassie, can you, look at you, top of things.
All right, any other questions for administration? Hearing none, we'll move into road departments. Dave, floor is yours. Under old business, first we have project updates. So that would have been, Mike, what was yours?
Mine was just, I'm just finally, with Dave Smith on that stuff, have you guys, have you gotten any closer?
Well, I'm gonna start marking it out, stuff
Okay.
like I stated, let you know before, I'm gonna start marking it out, and once we get a few of these side projects all done, we're gonna go that way.
I
Cause
just
like
wanted
right
to-
now, I got the soccer field next week now, and pouring foundations, so it's kinda, every time I'm getting a step toward it, I got 3 things that come up, I gotta go away from it, so. No, it's coming, I'm gonna go out and start marking it.
Okay,
So-
good. You know, I mean, it's been a long time. So, yeah, I want to just, you know, just
No,
keep
it-
up
it was
because if not, you know, he's going to be calling me and I'm trying to,
Right, it was on the program for this year, it's just getting there to get it. So.
okay.
Any updates on the King Meadow Trail projects? There was 2 of them back there.
The one where, well,
We had to do the riser.
riser, right.
Where are we gonna get that riser in this year?
Yes, I'm still trying to get that. That can be put in even when it's snowy out and stuff like that, so. The riser and the other one, I still gotta get the county out to look at the ditches and stuff
Okay,
on the Tinley one.
okay, so Tinlands was one of them where there was he was concerned with the ditch, and there's a second house on King Meadow
Okay.
that needs, a riser needs
Oh, I
put
thought
in.
you said trail.
No. Well, yeah, it's,
Okay, I know. Okay, I got it.
No, actually, we're back there today working on some of the dips in the roadway. We're filling them with asphalt and stuff, so. But, no, them are on the project yet this year too. So,
okay,
as long as all hell don't turn loose and it starts snowing like crazy. I mean, the early predictions are, we're gonna have snow in November, so.
okay.
But I mean, they're on the list to get done, yes. But the Tinley one, actually, I mean, the water does back up a little bit, but it escapes within a day. So it's not, how do you say it? Theirs is not as precedent, say, as the Estes one right at the moment. The
Right.
ditch is doing its job. so.
Right. And the other one on King Meadow was just getting that riser in.
Right.
They'd been
And
asking
I
about that.
mean, quote unquote, say if it didn't happen this year, it'd be a first in the spring project.
Okay,
So I mean, like I said, we got our projects kicking in. Like I said, we got the soccer field, we're gonna haul topsoil, help Craig's project out. We got to seed and straw that. So I'm gonna be tied up there probably for a week too on top of things. So, well, as the weather holds, we'll be all right.
okay.
Well, for Dave Smith, you figure that was a couple-day project?
That's probably about a week project. You're probably looking at almost 1,000 feet of pipe going through properties and everything else, though.
So stop giving him things. You know, these people have been waiting.
Hey,
I agree. We need to hire more.
person sitting beside me here
We just
too.
hired somebody.
Huh?
We just hired somebody.
No,
Hire
I
more.
really want to get this Estes project done, but now he has to pull off for the wonderful soccer field. So Dave Smith, if you're watching, talk to Craig.
Yeah, don't blame me.
No, we'll get
I only
both
have a certain
projects.
amount of
It's
time to get seed down.
It's just he's not gonna, I mean, we gotta get the soccer fields, we gotta have them seeded
Right.
before winter. So that's just.
You know, I just hate, it seems like I'm always making excuses. I mean, and I understand it. I'm glad you're saying that. I mean, these other people that have those issues, I get it, but they came in after this. So you know what I mean? You gotta do them the best you can. You got a list, paper full of things to do, and I understand you're getting to them as best as you can.
Right.
But like, you know, this Tyndall or whoever, they gotta just understand.
Right.
I mean, there's other people that have been waiting. I mean, this guy's 6 years. So, I mean, not that it's gonna be that long.
Right.
It's not Dave's fault. It's just that previous department heads didn't have that.
Brimfield's different now than it
It
was
is.
back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I just don't want anyone giving Dave a hard time because I mean, he's doing it the best they can.
Yeah, no, just keeping us updated is important, so that's
Yeah.
good.
So all I can do is I'm just gonna keep them updated. And
No, it's, his is gonna happen because, I want to remove a catch basin out of his neighbor's property driveway. Move it down some. There's no reason to have a catch basin dead nuts in the middle of somebody's driveway.
Yep.
So we're gonna move it out of the driveway and then replace pipe from that point to the next catch basin, from that catch basin to the creek on Carter Lumber's property. So it's an extensive project. It's not one of these you're gonna do
Yeah,
overnight.
I
So,
mean, 1,000 feet of pipe is a lot of pipe.
right.
So it's all good.
Okay.
I think as long as we just keep them up to date, you know, like I told you, I think that's the best thing we can do.
No, we'll get to it.
Unless it starts snowing next.
Like I said, if we get breaks, even if it's snowing, I could go work on his project.
Right.
As long as I'm not having to plow the roads.
Right. Thanks,
So-
Dave.
Okay.
Oh, wait, okay. The other thing, painting that sign over there on, allotment on the way to Rootstown.
Hunter's Ridge.
Hunter's
Hunter's
yeah.
Ridge.
Did we ever figure out anything on that?
Well, we were gonna work on it, but this year's been so hectic. Like I sent a message back to Nick, if they wanted to paint it, we're gonna replace the posts and stuff next year.
Okay.
I mean, quote, if we have an easy going winter, we may yank them out during the middle of winter and stick them in new post, that stuff in, but it was already, we had it on the radar, but it's just, again, I mean, I hate to say it this way. I know people get upset. That really doesn't affect anything where some of these other projects affect a lot more than worrying about a painted sign.
Just so you can let those people know.
Yep, no, I'll follow back up with them. So,
Hate to be
okay.
that way, but.
But we got to prioritize. We only have so much time and money.
Issues going on. That sign's not too important, so.
That's right.
And is Tim here now?
I know. You want to hear my message?
Tim started?
No, I was going to kind of give you an FYI on that too. All right, well, I guess he's considered old business now, but, yeah, actually he will start next Wednesday on the 13th. I think that's the day. Wednesday on the 13th. Right now we're working on foundations at the cemetery. We're going to pour them on the 13th of next week. Couldn't get concrete this week. Everybody's booked solid. The concrete work that we hired out, S&G did for us, it's completed. Everything's poured, asphalt's put back for them, or all that's done. We did some ditching on Saks, Meadowview, and Irish. These are roads that, well, Saks, excluding Saks Road, the other ones I have to get, I'm getting a jet truck in to clean out the pipes. So we had to clean out the ditches first for the stuff we got somewhere to go. Still been just taking around a little chip and sealing. Road mowing. Just an FYI, with all the talk with Kendall and all them, probably before the year's up, probably within the next month, we will be receiving International Way, which is the road that tees off to the right off of Maple Crest Drive.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have that to take care of that through the winter now too, for keeping it open. They're doing a punch list right now. Once punch list is completed, we'll be getting dedicated that road then too. Just to let you guys know. The one that runs in front of Hammer.
The only change that's gonna happen there, and Dave and I discussed this, is there's a cutout right now where they're putting hammerk in at the end of the road. And there's a curb cutout where they have their stone and they're using it as a construction drive.
Right.
The revised drawings that I approved last week has the drive moving off onto the other road, off to the back, so they could have deliveries off into the back instead of wrapping around the building.
Right.
But, so they'll replace the curb in that area.
Right, they're just using it as construction.
So do we know, I'm sorry, Mike, do we know if they ever approved the road to connect to Crystal Parkway at all?
No, so we have had preliminary meetings to connect back in there, but there's a ton of wetlands. And the last I heard when we had the meeting and Dan and Bob were trying to pull it off with the property owner is what level of wetlands they were, if they were at 1 or 2, or how bad they were, and can we cut through them and cut a road in there, and how much the actual cost would be. But the plan is to eventually do that. It's just if we can with the wetlands.
Said we'd keep all those trucks coming out the commercial area. They can just get out where the expressway is.
Right. Well, once the expressway is done, it'd be perfect to go out there. And, and then Dave and I are at a pre-construction meeting tomorrow, 9:30 for Brimfield Crossings, which is all of where the new Aldi's and everything else will be going in up there. So
That off of Parliament Drive, that little piece, I want to find out how much of that I'm going to end up getting dedicated to us now too, so.
Okay, thanks. I didn't even.
Oh, no, that's all right. No, because the road, like the gentleman showed, that'll be a township road when they do build that and gets dedicated, blah, 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 later on too. So that whole area is adding more and more roadways. So they go on with what Mike was saying. During our punch list meeting, they brought the same facts up. Because I asked, okay, how soon am I going to have a road from here to Dayton Freight, around the bend, Crystal Park? And they said right now the cost and stuff, they're looking into wetlands, all that stuff too. So that was brought up at the punch list meeting too.
If you have a bridge or something going over the wetlands.
Right. Because at one point we were supposed to stop plowing 300 feet south of the culvert pipe that's there. Well, now we've just added the whole chunk to the back. First day, probably the end of the month, we'll have that piece back there once I get it fixed. Chip and seal project is going along really well. They still got to sweep it off and paint lines on it yet. So again, it's one of them. It's on a standstill right now. I mean, you're letting cars pack it in, this and that. So
they're going to sweep all the intersections and they'll sweep up the berms.
everything will get swept off. Per se, if something happens, they miss an intersection or something, we'll come out ourselves and get it cleaned off.
Are they gonna give you the stones or?
That I cannot tell you. A lot of the roadways, there's not a lot of stone on them left. So,
Okay.
so it's just one of them. I'll have to wait and see what Melway when they call me and set things up. I mean, what we'd have to do is keep a truck driver, quote unquote, with say if a sweeper come the normal.
Is there any use for that? Is there anything?
We've used it before at the parks and stuff. Filling in spots. So.
That might be a good thing.
So if we get a chance, I mean, when Melway starts talking to me that they're coming, we'll do that. I need the board's approval. I guess I'll jump to an agenda thing now. I need the board's approval to have JD Striping Service and Inc. to come in and do our road striping for the township this year. It's at a cost of $25,265.75.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion for that in the positive, so we can discuss it.
I'll second that for discussion.
Okay, I've talked to John about it, and by the amount of money you've saved with the bidding, so we definitely have that extra money. to do it.
Right. Plus I have some extra money in like services and that we put back for contracted services for this.
Are they'll be able to get it done before the weather?
Yes, actually, I've already talked to, oh man, why did I get his name mixed up? But JD himself, and he's ready. He's done the township roads the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, I actually had a thing out to another person and never got a response back before this. So, I mean, we put it out to 2-3 different companies and JD's always come right for us. I mean, his price, he even called me to explain why his price is a little higher than normal. This year, it's the paint issue. Everybody has to pay extra for paint. And like he said, again, like everybody's talking manpower, you have to pay a little extra to keep people on your staff. So,
And I mean, this is important. I mean, it's a safety issue to you
Right.
also.
No, this is-
Use it for marking roads and.
right, this is all for mainly our main roads, excluding the ones that were chip and seal. That's being done through the project for the chip and seal. So it's almost 12 miles of roadway getting painted. So you figure most of them are all getting double yellow lines down the middle and then white lines on the outside. Plus we have 46 arrows has got to be painted, stop blocks. Oh, it's quite a bit of it.
How many miles is that again?
11, well, it's actually 11.61 if you want to get right to the number.
And I mean, that helps you when you're snow plowing, right?
Right, especially the yellow lines in the middle because we can find the middle of the road and know where to guess where the edge is a lot better.
I'm thinking a video of you in a snowsuit riding around with Dave doing a video so people understand how important it is.
Is it gonna be purple?
Yes.
Like Barney? That'd be good.
All right, any more?
Any others?
All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Alrighty, thanks. Oh, and just to let you know, I did get a letter from, I didn't have it on a report. I gotta make these reports too quick. Came in last night. We have been accepted through PWC for the Cascade project next year. So they're gonna finish the last things. Mike signed the paper this morning for me. It's gonna be a go for next year. And again, like we said, we're gonna change things. Roading, where the striping, the arrows are different and everything. It's gonna make it a lot easier. Just do one big project. This year, it's gonna get painted as normal. I guess that way nobody gets nervous. But next year, when we do the whole project, it's gonna get, arrows are gonna be shifted, signs. There's gonna be a lot of stuff changed to help the people through Cascades a little bit.
Are they gonna run that line the way the
We're
road goes?
talking about solid blocking that to where
Yeah.
it's just a turn lane after you get, say, past,
Panera.
restaurant. Yes, but not this time around, no. It's gonna still be the same as what was set before.
But that's OPWC,
OPWC, we're gonna change all that.
so that's free money. Am I saying that right?
Well, no.
It's a match.
It's a match money.
Yes, so,
Okay.
But I mean, it helps us out greatly
course.
on that, so.
Traffic pattern, what you can move the speed down there and everything.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's the thing, we gotta change signages and everything, so we're gonna do it all in one shot, the OPWC stuff.
It would make sense, sorry, to have arrows on the road. Like
Well,
just guide
they're-
on the roadway.
They're gonna be added that way,
Yeah.
I mean, for next year and stuff like that.
Because I mean, you know where it just, everybody cuts everybody off that little curve constantly. But really not there for wrecks much though, to be honest.
Right,
Right.
now you started it.
Dave, I just have one other question. I know, there's a possibility of that other grant that I gave you the paperwork to.
Yes.
Because, one thing I'd really like to see is, like I talked to you, is about putting sidewalks from 43 all the way back. So, at least through the town park and stuff. And then if we can work some down in Cass Meadow to hook one big walkway so people can get through our town center. I'm not talking, is there any way we can use some of that money for our area?
Well, right now, everything's been submitted already, so I've submitted a few roadways and a culvert pipe. So that would probably say if they kick us out another one, we could estimate a value on all that.
Did you get to the whole 250,000? Because that's a zero matching grant.
Right. Well, I'm waiting for the report back from the county and stuff.
Well, if you do
Okay,
find
So
out.
it's not, it's almost set up the same as OPWC.
Okay.
If,
Because the way I read it was a zero match, which means there's 250,000
Yeah, that's
potential for us.
say if I did a project and it cost me 300, I only owe 50,000.
Right.
But the thing is it's set the same way as OPWC and stuff. If there's not enough generation of usage, people, traffic flow.
There's a scoring for it, right?
So
Yeah.
they're still in the process of setting up, looking at the jobs for me and stuff and going from there.
Do you think it'd be possible if you and I would sort of walk the area I'm thinking about, where we could maybe get an estimate from one of your people?
Well, I could actually, when you want to walk it, let me know and I can see if I can have like S&G show up and let him take a look at what you're talking about.
Well, let's maybe do that next week if you got time. I mean, it'll only take 10 minutes.
No, I know, but 10 minutes.
I mean,
is
I
fine.
wouldn't like nothing more than to have, a walkway from Chapman and the whole area
Right.
where they can get up to the future town center.
No, we can walk through there and look at it and stuff and see what he has to say. I mean,
You let me know when you have time.
at least it'll give us an idea of what the
Right.
value, because like I said, this may not be the only grant that the state kicks out right now to the
Well,
people.
in case he tells you that you didn't spend enough, you can know how much it would cost.
The one project, trust me, I'm gonna have to have a few bucks on top of it.
See, Chick wanted it so he could get his scooter all the way.
He just drives down the middle of the road. That's why I'm putting them yellow lines out
Gotta
there.
give him a big yellow flag, orange flag.
But I think that concludes my report. I think
That's what my
got
grandfather
everything.
did.
Under roads, Dave, I know this isn't your project, but just to make everybody aware, so Mogador North Leg is now open north and southbound traffic.
Yes.
So with that whole construction project down there by Maple Crest. And they've flipped the construction to the other side, so now they're starting that. I have talked to the engineer's office. They're having issues, RJ is having issues on his drive there, which is Highway View Drive. When they did the flip initially, they actually put up concrete barriers and orange barrels across this entire parking lot, so he couldn't even get to work that day. He had to move orange barrels to get in. And the contractor told him, well, just deal with it for a year.
No, they've actually.
So I know they've moved some stuff, but then he said after they moved it, they're still having trouble with semis making a turn down Highway View Drive. They're getting stuck. It's too tight with that center barrier they put in. So I don't know if you can kind of look at it and give some feedback to the county again, because because it's not only RJ back there, but there's a couple other
Right.
organizations that need to be able to get semis back.
I mean, I've just dropped a truck off at RJ's to get worked on. The problem is there too, I mean, I hate to say it, people are crowding. So the trucks can't get the proper swing in, swing out. I mean, they may have to, I don't know what they can do. Like you said, we can see what they can do with the barrier, maybe slide it over some more. But what I noticed yesterday, I sat there and just stared at people, pulled right up and blocked me off, and I couldn't make a left-hand turn. So I end up having to go up to Walmart, turn around, come back and get in the lane to make the turn in. So it's impatience. People are being impatient. You know, they see somebody in the turn lane, they don't, you hate to say it that way, but they are. They're being,
The truth of it is too, I gotta get my fire trucks in.
Right.
And those have not a good returning radius, so.
So that was the other question. Can you
Yeah.
make that turn over there right now with that setup?
Don't know.
It might be worth taking the drive down to look.
I know the tanker's terrible turning. If I start turning now, I might be hit back in here somewhere. It's terrible.
Well, and it's
So-
a really bad setup over there right now.
Okay.
that's good.
Well, I can take a look at it too.
Yeah, just from a safety standpoint, I think we don't control the project. All we can do is ask the county and ODOT to fix it.
Right.
But I think if it comes from somebody.
Like I said, I actually have a meeting, I'm not positive which day yet this week, with Mike Collins on a couple other things in the township. So I can bring that up and we can probably
Well,
take a look.
again, I'll take a look, but I think it's fair to say we have to, like, no negotiation.
Yeah, if we can't get the
Like, you
tanker
gotta-
back there, they
yeah,
have to.
you gotta move it back. if
That's
It's
got
that tight.
hydrants.
So,
They got fire hydrants, you're all right.
I can't get my truck to it though. It doesn't matter.
No, come on. You want me to drive it for you? No, I'm just kidding. No, but it is a problem though with people pulling up too tight too. They can't get semis in. I mean, I know what you're saying because I've watched the semis do the same thing I did yesterday. Go on past, turn around. I mean, and of course, I don't think Walmart and Cascades want all these trucks coming up, turn around, coming back, make the turn in the other way. So,
Right.
so yeah, no, I'll bring it up to them.
All right, thank you. Other questions for roads? All right, we'll move into Parks and Rec. Cassie, floor is yours.
All right, I have some informational items for the board and also one discussion item. Under past programs, on September 28th, we had our Lunch and Learn program on bats. That's going to be our last Lunch and Learn program for the year, since the weather will be unpredictable and we have those out in the pavilion. So that went very well. On the last Friday, we had a Community Days wrap-up meeting to discuss what went well and what needs improvement for next year. Some of the items we discussed were we liked the free kids activities, the live music, fireworks, the township demonstrations were a hit, small games like the cornhole and lawn games and the coloring contest. We said that we wanted more food trucks for next year, carnival rides, a better sound system, a parade possibly, and more people to help plan and better advertising. So for next year, we are looking at forming a planning committee. If anybody in this room is passionate about that, please contact me. We are discussing having a parade, potentially run by another organization. We are looking into options for possibly having alcohol at next year's event. We are looking at improving our advertising, both on social media and flyers and signage. I'm looking into carnival rides, looking for a vendor for that. And we are looking at getting some different bands and styles of music. And I will also be charging a deposit for food trucks next year, because this past year we had a few food trucks that verbally agreed to come and did not show up. So we think that'll eliminate some of the problems. So Brimfield Parks Advisory update. The next meeting will be Thursday, the 21st at 6:30. I do not have an update for the 2022 committee. I'm waiting for one more person to turn in an application. We had a pretty low turnout for applications this year, but if I get this last person, we'll have a committee of 5. So I think that will be adequate. But we do have, the 5 that we do have are a really good group. Under new business, upcoming programs, the Tour of Lights Holiday Lighting Contest, the October 12th registration for that will begin. And then on the 16th, which is next Saturday, our Fall Harvest Festival will be from 4 to 9:30 at Lions Park. We are having a trunk or treat, so if anybody out there is listening and their business or organization would like to participate, please contact me. For activities, we're having crafts, outdoor games, a scavenger hunt, bonfire. The Girl Scouts will be providing a s'more station, hot dogs, cider, and ice cream. We'll also be having a presentation from a ecologist from EnviroScience. Will be coming and bringing in some pelts and skulls and doing a presentation for the kids, so that will be very nice. We'll also be having our movie in the park, which will be Nightmare Before Christmas, and that will start at 7 p.m. And then on the 28th of this month, we will be having a owl night hike here at Lions Park from 6 to 8 p.m.
Are you just gonna get the microphone with the sound of an owl?
Yes,
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 you
we
can.
will. Yes, we will be calling them in.
We'll be running around.
Yes. I have done that program in previous jobs, and it is very entertaining. I have had owls come in before. It's very awesome. So, love to do that program.
Cassie, I know you talked about this before, but I don't have it on my calendar. When is the Santa tree lighting stuff?
Oh, that is November 28th, Sunday.
The day after
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, Sunday
Okay,
after
I just didn't
Thanksgiving.
have it. What time are we doing it?
5 to 7.
Where the Kelso house is giddy about this.
Yes.
Yes.
Giddy, giddy, giddy.
Speaking of which, we had a meeting with Elegant Lighting on the 30th, and we did, Craig and I and Aaron went over and did a site visit at the Kelso house just to discuss what we wanted for that. We are waiting to hear back. And then my item for discussion, this has been brought up to me by both the Parks Committee and by Aaron. We were discussing possibly having separate social media pages for Parks and Recreation, just because we said that we could post probably every hour. We have so many different pieces of content that we would like to get out there between events, program registrations, just, nature pictures, videos, all of these things. We feel like the majority of the posts on our social media pages are us. And sometimes we feel like we're burying your posts with all of our posts. So I know in the past, I think they're even still floating out there. We had like a separate zoning page and like all these different pages, and it got confusing. Obviously, everyone would still have access to these. I just wanted to bring this up to the board for discussion.
My thing is, Jimmy, you're not saying, we gotta keep you on the webpage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, the numbers that we have on the Brimfield page are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
gonna,
afraid, because there's people that don't know about our parks, and if you're pulling off of our pages and you end up with 300 people,
Yeah,
what happens to the other 4,000 that never get to see them?
true.
I think you should just keep posting away.
yeah, that was the concern. People were having to go to too many places to find
Yeah.
information. We really wanted to centralize communications to our main website and to a singular Facebook
It's
page.
bad enough we have one other department that does it there.
Yeah. Oh, no, I definitely understand.
Because here's the issue.
You can have
No, I'm with Nick. I think.
And the other issue is this, it's a marketing piece for the township, right?
Yeah.
So if I get somebody that just cares about parks and they follow the page, they're also finding out about changes that are happening in the township. We're having a road closure now, we're having this happen. Or vice versa, if somebody only cares about the road closures, they're now hearing about the parks event, and they may attend that.
Sure.
When you start to diversify that, you really lose that coverage.
And you know what the algorithms on Facebook,
Mhm.
it only goes to so many people.
Right.
So the more posts you do, the more chance that it's gonna get out there.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't be opposed to, though, if you have more photos or videos that you want to get out, they may not go to Facebook, they just go to Instagram,
that's
right?
true.
So we can start to utilize that Instagram and Twitter account for some more of those additional posts, where Facebook is the events and the meat and potatoes single post a day.
Okay.
But after this falloo with Facebook,
Right.
I
Well, and that's why we need to be diversifying into the Twitter
and it's-
environment, right? Well, Instagram's owned by Facebook, so it was down too.
Yeah.
So you got to cover all those aspects just to be able to get information out.
Yeah, your advertisements or things you were putting up are great. I love the colors, I love the information, it's just, they're good.
I will give credit to Erin. She has been really taking charge of that. All those really pretty posts that you see are mostly her, so.
And really
She's doing a great job.
the core piece we're trying to get people back to is the website. And Craig and I just talked about this with Brian this week, is revitalizing the website, get something changed on there. But that's the hub that we want everybody coming to.
Yes, and it seems like from my department, when we're really heavy on social media, it seems like we neglect the website and vice versa. So
Yeah.
we're just now starting to get in a good balance where we.
There
make
needs to
sure
be a
we post
checklist. If
everything
you're posting an
everywhere.
event on the website, it has to go to Facebook. If there's an event on Facebook, it has to go to the website. And if you're creating an event, they have to be in both places and always in the event sections. So we just got to get in that habit.
Yeah, we got a little behind with community days, but now we're starting to get a posting schedule done, and it's been getting a little better, so. Okay, and that was all I had.
All right. Any questions for Parks and Rec?
No, your assistant, she's doing wonderful with those.
I will.
But I'm sure it's under your direction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cemetery, we had no old business or new business. Any updates you wanted to give on cemetery?
No.
Okay. Fiscal office, anything for you?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks.
All right, we do have an executive session before I make that motion. Anything for the good of the order for Brimfield Township?
Hey, just so we keep reminding people, remember, we're gonna have that election day dinner.
Yes.
February 2nd, you know, with our new partners, the historic, Brimfield Historical Society. Huh?
November 2nd,
Yeah,
November
yeah, what'd I say?
February.
Oh.
Do we buy the ticket beforehand?
I'm not sure how Darlene's gonna work it out. I mean, remember, there is gonna be option for people that cannot drive and get to it. They're gonna charge a total of $15 to have the food delivered, and that includes the food. And we're going back to the traditional menu, and,
Oh, what's on the menu?
cream of chicken on biscuits, yams, homemade tomato juice,
Beets.
uh,
You had beets before.
beets. Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna do beets, I'll just throw them away. But I'm into
I
beets.
love beets.
And then, a couple other things. We got me
Mike,
off track.
Do you,
And they need pies.
they
want-
need pie, people to
Make
donate
pies.
pies?
But I need all of you to be there to help all the
I'll be there.
trustees and fiscal
I'll be
officers to help.
What time are we doing it again?
I'll pass
Do
it out.
do you recall when they first had the election day dinner? Was that back in the
That was before
60s?
my time,
That was back in the 80s.
In the 80s? Okay,
really.
I don't even know, it was probably before then too.
yeah.
It's a good tradition. It gets everybody together.
Oh, I'm glad to see it come back.
It's gonna cost $12, I think, or, I don't remember, right around
I
12.
asked that, but
Yeah, about $12. It's gonna be a full meal. We aren't gonna be able to do it, family style, with COVID and stuff. So we'll have to, everything will be plated, sent out. We can't
What
just
time
have
is it
people
again?
Sharing stuff.
down in the basement.
Yep.
What
Time is, I think
I'm
it's,
having a rough time getting down there.
well, use the elevator.
And there's an elevator.
Oh, is there an
Yeah.
elevator?
Yeah, that,
Don't be walking. around.
Kelso has an elevator.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good, Sue, that's a good point. We should let people know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that hasn't been there too long.
Oh, wow.
It's been there.
Has it?
Huh?
Yeah, so.
Well, as I remember.
It's at the back door by the porch, by
Yeah,
the back porch.
You're right.
So whoever can help.
Yep.
Like, I think Craig already volunteered to be a
Craig's gonna be there.
celebrity server, and Roy, I think I heard that come out of Roy's mouth.
I'll be there.
What time is it?
I'll be there.
I'll be
Mike,
there.
you'll be there. John will be
I'm
there.
cooking.
The whole groups.
I'm
That's
not
right.
coming if I don't know what time it is.
I think it's 4 to 8, or,
4 to 8.
do you remember, Cassie? I'll get.
Is that when it starts though? 4?
Yeah.
I'll just stay till
Or
it
till we
is.
run out of it.
Yeah. Okay. 4 o'clock, we're gonna be there then.
Yeah, we'll
That's
just get
good.
there. All right. With that said, then, anything else for the good of the order? If not, I'd like to make a motion for executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G for the purpose of considering the following manners. Number 4, preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment. In this meeting will be the Board of Trustees, the fiscal officer, and the police chief. Anybody else? That'll be it. I need a second for
I will
that.
second it.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, we're adjourned at 9:38 to executive session.
All right, we'll go up to the meeting room for executive session, and then we'll come back.
I gotta hit the little boys one first.
About what? Well, but there's also more to it. How far you got here? Oh, that's the same. Where's your hair at? She's supposed to stop.
appreciate that.
So I don't wanna. So, if you guys get one of those towels, and if I got full, I'm saying it to the rest. Let me try to get something really nice. Sure they have a bar or something. Yeah. It's all the We expected to push for salary increase. Yeah. All right, but the biggest thing is that, hey, we have a plan, because we need operating money, and I can't afford to start paying more. And he gives it 3.9, into the 15 years, so. Oh, 3.9, you give me 3.9, well, it is, but I played the game before. If I give a 3.9, I was, we're good, we can jump up and down, see what happens, right? That's what I wanted to look at. Because then I already started making cleaning. Okay. But I was gonna use that, that would be the. Okay. That would be nice. Okay. nice to your kids, because one day they're gonna make you sleep out in the barn, or let them sleep at your house. I'm just, I'm hoping we can get her that memory care, because it's, you have to sleep with my phone. Aren't they doing that at Kent Ridge? No, she's now at St. Edward's. But I thought Kent Ridge had a big thing out front that they didn't have. Well, she's still paying $7,000 a month for a place in Italia. So. We're seeing Edward. By Summon Mall. My wife loves that.
All right.
It is,
We are-
9:53.
Yep, we're out of executive session at 9:53. I would like to make a motion for a extension agreement with the Police Department Patrol Division for their contract, extending fact-finding date to April 15th, 2022. I need a second for that.
I'll second.
Any questions on this? This is just part of our contract negotiation. This is for the patrol.
Right.
All right. Hearing no questions, roll call vote.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
That motion passed.
All right. I'd like to make a motion for an extension agreement for fact-finding hearing extended to April 15th, 2022 for Brimfield Township Gold Unit, which would be the sergeant's unit.
Second. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any questions on this one?
No.
All right. Roll call.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed. Can I see that too, Mike, when you're done?
Yes, they'll be coming down to you. All right. Any other information for the good of the order?
Nope, good meeting.
All right.
John, do you have a hard copy of the executive session?
I do. Yep.
All right. Hearing none, need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will make that motion.
I will second.
Ooh, all those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
We are adjourned at 9:55.
All right. Everyone, have a great day.
Can I, Roy, you want me to give you a copy of that?